we are on the record. It is April 5th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Kathy Kennedy Swan on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Alex Augusto on behalf of the Office of the Defendant.
Morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Eric Wilson.
All right, Mr. Wilson, you're represented here.
Morning, Your Honor.
Tell
Jose
me.
Lopez for Mr. Wilson.
Okay, Mr. Lopez. You're here in 2018 CF 18353AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for sexual battery on a child under 12. State, are you asking the court to make any findings?
Yes, Your Honor. State's asking the defendant be held at no bond. Looking at the four corners of the information, it says there are two victims. One said that this happened between when the victim was in third grade, or approximately 10 years old for 3 to 4 years, and was the child. The second one was a stepchild of the defendant that said this happened when they were 11, going on 12 for 3 to 4 years as well. One says that this happened while multiple times in the master bedroom, placing his penis inside her vagina. For the second victim, this happened when the victim's mom would leave and said, "Daddy," he would tell the victim, the defendant would tell the victim, "Daddies have to examine their daughters." That this sex battery happened for over 3 to 4 years as well. He would perform a daddy exam on her. Based on the information, we asked the defendant be held at no bond, no contact with any children under the age of 18, no contact with these victims or witnesses, maintain separate residences, no drugs or alcohol, and no weapons.
Mr. Lopez?
Your Honor, at this time, the state hasn't put forth any sworn testimony. Therefore, they haven't met the burden of presumption, proof evidence presumption grade. These allegations happen from
Have you reviewed the documents submitted with the information?
The only information I've reviewed is the police report that was
Okay,
handed.
there's a lot of sworn statements in there.
Okay.
Just letting you know. There is one count of sexual battery on a child under 12. There's not two. They charged one, but I have a packet with all the sworn statements, which I've reviewed.
Okay. At this point, I have no further argument, Your Honor. Then we'll file a formal motion and have a
Okay.
hearing.
Trying to see. All right, based on the numerous sworn statements and consistencies between all of the sworn statements of the individuals that law enforcement spoke with, I do find proof evident presumption great. I am going to hold Mr. Wilson at no bond in this case. These are your conditions, sir. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witnesses in the case. You're not to return to, or you're to maintain separate residences. State, did you have a no return? Because I'm not sure where that would be.
I didn't say return,
Oh, okay.
just separate residences.
Okay,
That'll
separate
reside there.
residences.
Yes, Your Honor.
And were there any other conditions? And no unsupervised, or no contact with any minor children under the age of 18. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
morning, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
Sardal Leonard?
Are you Mr. Sardal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sardal Leonard?
Sorry, sir?
Sardal Leonard?
Okay. All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4517AO. You were arrested for aggravated battery, causing great bodily harm with a weapon. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or any witness listed in the affidavit. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Sir, do you live at 223 North Dollins Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay. I am gonna stay the bond at the $10,000 with those conditions. Please tell me your name, sir.
Pablo Juan Burgos, JR 205-1991.
Okay, sir, you're here in 2019 MM 2762AO. This is a motion for reduction of bond. Mr. Augusto?
And Your Honor, if I may have one moment. Your Honor, we would like to rely on the face of the motion for a motion for reduction of bail bond in this case. Mr. Burgos was found incompetent to proceed last year by the Honorable Judge Wayne Shoemaker. And we would ask that his bond be reduced in this case. And we would rely on the face of the motion.
What are his bonds?
The bonds right now are $500 for count one, $100 for count two, and $100 for count three.
Okay, let me look up the other case that you're referencing and see what's been going on there. So you're not gonna present any testimony?
Yes, we can, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand, Mr. Burgos.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Burgos,
Yes.
are you able to afford the bond in this case?
Like my family, they like, you know, they. Like I could go out there and work it out and stuff like that, but at the same time, my family, just, you know, it's just we have issues at the house that, you know, they kick me out at the house and stuff like that. But in my paperwork of my SSI and everything, it says like if they kick me out, they could just really could cut my check off, and you know, they could just try to get me a position for myself.
So you have no income right now, right?
Yeah, no, I don't have no income
Okay,
right now.
okay.
I was just asking if I could please get time served.
Okay.
You know,
Do you
and
know if he's on a conditional release program?
It looks like, I believe I have the thing right here.
Looks like there was an order appointing experts for an evaluation on February 6, 2018,
Yes, that's the one I have.
but I don't see any report. I don't see any conditional release plan. The next status hearing is May 6, 2019. State, are you aware of any conditional release
I'm looking it up
plan?
right now.
Because I can't find one.
I don't see one in our system, so I don't see one that's been served on us.
I see here that he had a conditional release in 2017 MM 9246.
That's the case I'm looking at,
Yeah,
but I don't
okay.
see it. Usually there's, when you find somebody incompetent,
Right.
then you give the court an order, and it has a plan based on what the doctors recommended.
I understand. The attorney did not
And I
attach
don't see that
the
in
order
this case.
here, but
It's not in the case. I'm looking through
Yeah.
what's the clerk, and it doesn't.
There's no conditional release plan.
It just says to ROR him, but it doesn't say what the plan is. I see his next court date is in May. Your Honor, state would object because, number one, he's been found incompetent, but yet he's still committing new law allegations. State would think this is better served for a notice of incompetency and a conditional release plan before the court is to release him on any terms like ROR or anything like that.
I mean, I agree with that. I think that if, I don't know what happened in that 2017 case with Judge Shoemaker, but it looks like he was never evaluated. If he was, it's not in the court file. There's only a finding of incompetence with no conditional release plan. I don't feel comfortable releasing him without a plan in place.
Okay.
If he, so maybe get with whoever's representing him in that 2017 MM 9246 case, find out what happened.
yeah, let him know, Your Honor.
What's going on, and file a motion for determination of competency, and for me to maybe put him on a plan.
Okay.
Look into Aspire or some of these programs that they can be in. I don't know how an incompetency was determined without an evaluation.
I see it. We have received one evaluation, Your Honor.
Okay, because there's not one in the file.
It's in our, I'm not looking at clerks, I'm looking at the state attorney's site. So it looks like there was an evaluation done that we did receive.
Okay, there's not one in Odyssey. It just says drive, maybe it says, it's labeled, there's something that's confidential that's labeled driving record. No, that is the driving record.
Yeah, that's my driving records.
So, yeah, I believe this is better suited for a different type of motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're, so I'm gonna deny that. And I'll put my findings in the order, okay?
Thank you.
What we discussed. I'm gonna keep that in. All right, and this is 2019 MM1934AO. Are you Mr. Charles?
Mr. Charles is refusing.
Okay. This is the one that we had the other day, and Mr. Diaz indicated that you were not going to proceed forward on the motion to determine incompetency and to place him on a conditional release, and then this was refiled as an ROR motion or in the alternative to reduce bond?
Correct,
This
Your
is the
Honor.
same case?
Correct.
Right,
So state's still objection is that he's out. This is his
Right.
sixth case.
Right.
That he's out on.
and I reviewed Dr. Danzinger's report, which was done, I believe, in January? That was the follow-up
February.
report, February 14th, 2019. And he recommended that he be ordered to a psychiatric facility such as Aspire for treatment. And he should be, there's a reasonable probability of competency restoration within 60 to 90 days. So I think, again, I don't know why Mr. Diaz and whoever filed the motion decided to, Mr. Lindsay filed it, whether that was there was some specific reason why they decided to withdraw that motion and file a motion that would ROR him or reduce his bond.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same situation, and I think this is the case where we just couldn't even find a conditional release plan.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
And there's a
Still no
lot of
conditional.
cases out there. So again, I'm gonna deny that based on the same reasons.
Okay.
Until I know that he's in a plan and there is a restoration plan in place. And the fact that he's even refusing to come to court causes me some concern. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Terrell Alexander Bogle.
All right, Mr. Bogle, you're here in 2019 CF 4704AO. You were arrested for trafficking in methamphetamines. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I'm going to stay the bond at the $250,000. Please tell me your name, ma'am.
Antonia Brunson.
All right, Ms. Brunson, you're here in 2019 CF 4706AO. You're arrested for uttering a forged check. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the Amscot at 1453 West Sand Lake Road. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses at that location. You're not to have any contact with the individual that's named in the affidavit with regards to that personal information that was located.
Who can I talk?
Your bond will stay at the $1,000.
No. Do I turn this off? The money is mine. I have text messages.
Thank you, ma'am. We're finished.
You can bring her to court.
Please tell me your name, ma'am.
Judy Chambor?
Okay. Do we know what happened with Halbrook? Okay. It's an out-of-county warrant, so,
Is it-
I mean, it's a Brevard County warrant. It's set at no bond. And so Brevard County has 24 hours to pick him up. But we won't recall that. Do we know what happened to Castillo? Okay. Looks like he's refused a couple, or he was in the hospital.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
Okay, so in 2019, CF 4582AO, Rafael Alberto Castillo Llorenz. He's charged with criminal mischief over 1,000. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent him. He's not to have any contact with any victim in the case or witness. He's not to return back to McDonald's at 830 South Orange Avenue. He's to abide by any and all trespass warnings. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. He's also out on bond in 2 cases, he was ROR'd and he's in pretrial release in 1. Do we have a pretrial release? Is it attached there? Okay, thank you. So in 2019 CF 2501AO, I'm revoking his release, setting his bond at none. And in 2019 CF 1463AO, I'm revoking his release and setting his bond at none. All right, Ms. Jamber, thanks for your patience.
Yeah.
You're here in 2019 MM 2815AO. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the racetrack at 5405 South Cimarron Boulevard. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. And I am going to stay the bond at the $500.
You're under the offer for Ms. Jamber.
Oh, sorry, there's an offer?
Yes,
Okay.
Adjudication, credit for time served, no return.
Yes, I did. I just went to boot camp.
Do you know how many days
2
she
months.
has in? 4 days. So 4 days. So ma'am, it would be a 4-day credit for time served offer. You'd get out today. Do you want to accept that?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Jambard, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Oh, I didn't signature at the bottom.
Yeah, you signed out
Oh,
on
I
the line
signature.
there.
Yes, I
Is that your
sig-
signature?
Uh,
This is the
Yeah,
form
I
that
think
you just
so.
signed?
yeah, I think I just,
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Did you understand everything that was
Can I
contained
see
within the
that?
plea form?
Can I see that? Because I think I signed on the other side. I thought you said initials. I just, I thought yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I saw the little prints over there.
Okay.
I thought.
Yeah,
I
that
said,
was your
I
attorney's
signed over here.
signature.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, did you understand everything contained within the plea form? Is that a yes?
Yes, yes.
All right. Did you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? There won't be a trial, you won't confront witnesses and be able to question witnesses. This case will be over.
Okay.
Do you understand all the
Yeah.
rights you're giving up?
Yeah.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes.
Okay. Do you are you on probation anywhere, Ms. Jamber?
No.
No? Okay. You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay, because I'm not. My husband might have a probation
Okay.
paper. Are you mixed with
Are
me?
you on probation?
No.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Oh, I am American
Okay.
citizen.
You understand, though, that if you're not, it will?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Okay. All right, I do find a
don't have
factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 4 days' time served. You're not to return back to that place I mentioned before. I believe it's the racetrack. And abide by any and all trespass warnings. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna give you a year to pay them off, though. You're gonna pay them by April 5th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you, Ms. Jamber.
Okay,
Have a good day.
you too.
Thank you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Michael Johnson.
Okay, do we know what happened to Mr. Anthony Johnson?
Anthony Johnson refused my
Okay, so he's refused a couple times.
We'll waive it.
All right, in 2019, MO 601AO, Mr. Johnson was arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender, and they're waiving his appearance. He's not to return back to, well, looks like this happened on the street. I think we should set this for a status date a week out, so that, is there an offer for Mr. Johnson?
Time served.
Okay, so it would probably be a time-served offer in a week, but based on our conversations the other day, I think that that's what we're gonna start doing. So we're gonna set him for a status in a week. And I'm gonna stay the bond at the 250. Yeah, we're gonna, on the MOs and the COs, we're gonna start doing that, because they sit in jail for 60 days and nobody does anything. They don't need to file information on them. All right, Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
you're here in 2019 CF 47250. You were arrested for delivering methamphetamine. Is that producing methamphetamine? These are. State, do we know of count 2? I've never heard of producing methamphetamine. Or if that's just a possession?
Have one moment, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's hard to look up some of these drug offenses because they. Oh, manufacture, okay. So manufacture of methamphetamine, trafficking in methamphetamine 14 grams or more, possession of cocaine, possession of marijuana under 20 grams, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I mean, if that is in fact manufacturing, which looks like it is, I'm not sure if there's PC for that, or if it's just a possession. Okay. So I do find probable cause for all of the other offenses. I'm gonna ROR him on count 2. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. In count 1, the bond will stay at $20,000. Count 3, it will stay at $50,000. Count 4, $150. Count 5, $100. Count 6, $150. Count 7, $100. In 2000, and 19 CT 374E. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with knowledge. I do find probable cause. Your bond will be $500 in that case. Do not drive without a valid license.
Yes, ma'am.
You're also out on bond, sir, in 2 cases, 2019 CF 2714AO and 2019 CT 216AE. I am revoking those bonds and setting them at none.
Your Honor, one quick second. For Anthony Johnson, what was the bond amount for that one?
That was the MO case?
Yes,
I think it was 250.
250. All right, thank you.
Is that correct? Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
250. Good morning, Mr. Dorner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Doug Dorner on behalf of Emmanuel Allen.
Okay, I have to find him. Hold on. Sorry? I don't know what that means. Oh. All right. Mr. Allen, you're here in 2019 CF 4696AO. You were arrested for trafficking in cocaine, more than 28 grams, less than 200 grams, in possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause for your arrest. You're represented by Mr. Dorner, standing to your left. I'm gonna-
Your Honor, in regards, I apologize if I'm
Sure.
interrupting. I represent Mr. Allen also on
I see
his
that.
underlying previous charge, which he was out on bond for. In regards to that, I understand the court is going to make a determination on whether the court is inclined to revoke bond. In argument for keeping that bond, I would ask the court to look at the probable cause affidavit in the new alleged charge, which seems to indicate this is a constructive possession case. The vehicle is not owned by my client. The contents that were found were clearly not in a visible area of the vehicle. It seems in collecting evidence, the officers collected 2 phones from my client, which do not match the box that the alleged trafficking amounts of cocaine were found in. And it seems that the only reason that my client was arrested relative to the other person was that he possessed the keys to the vehicle. However, it is clear that the vehicle is not his and is not registered to him. In regards to that, given that it does seem to be somewhat of a circumstantial constructive possession case, I would ask that bond remain on the underlying case, which is, I apologize.
2018 CF 13285.
Correct, or in the alternative, that the court order Mr. Allen to be on home confinement.
We don't have home confinement.
Okay,
Yeah, not here. I mean, he's out on bond for the same charge.
I understand, Your Honor.
Yeah. So, Mr. Allen, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to stay the bond in 2019 CF 4696AO at $50,000 on count 1, and count 2 will be $100. I am going to revoke the bond and set the bond at none in 2018 CF 13285AO. That doesn't mean that you're precluded from filing a motion in Division 17
I understand, Your Honor.
for that to be heard, and maybe that judge would give him a bond.
Okay,
All right? Thank you.
that's all I have. Can I
All
be
right.
excused?
Yes, have a great
Thank you.
weekend.
It's good to see you, Your Honor.
You too. Okay, good morning, sir. Please tell me your name.
Alfonso Luis Alberto.
Mr. Alfonso?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 2019 CF 4687AO. You arrested for attempted burglary, of a dwelling, loitering or prowling, or in criminal mischief. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. I think it's there, it's minimal, but it's there for probable cause, on count one, and count three, so, but I am finding it, and so you're not to return back to that residence, listed in the affidavit at the Hoffner Avenue. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition, and I believe I said I appointed the public defender. The bond will remain at the $1,000 on count one and $100 on counts 2 and 3. Please tell me your name, sir.
Jose Benitez.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Arroyo?
He's medical, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset him within 24 hours of his release from the hospital. Does medical mean hospital? No?
No, Your
Okay,
Honor.
oh, sorry, okay. So you'll say hospital if they're in the hospital? Okay, just so I know, because I say 24 hours of release from the hospital, and that's wrong, obviously. Thank you. So we'll reset him. Okay, Mr. Benitez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you're here in 2019 CF 4697AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. And you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will be $1,000 on count one and $100 on count two. You're also here on an out-of-county VOP on view out of Polk County, and your bond in that case will be set at none. All right, please tell me your name.
DeAndre Camps.
All right, Mr. Camps, you're here in 2019 CF 4702AO. You're arrested for possession of amphetamines and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that case, and in 2019 CT 26640, which you were arrested for driving while license suspended as a subsequent offender. I do find probable cause in that case. Your bonds in the felony cases will remain at $1,000 on count one, $100 on count two, and in the CT case, $500. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive without a valid license.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Kimberly Sherwood.
Do we know what happened with Mr. Reyes Cartagena?
He refused, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset him.
Your Honor, I have, on that case, I know he refused, but I have an armed burglary of a dwelling and then a bond. Is that correct?
There's a bond.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I can necessarily change that right now. I don't think there should be.
I don't believe that he was entitled to a bond.
No, and I think
that's incorrect. I think with
it's,
corrections.
yeah, I agree. It should be no bond.
Meg, is there a reason why there wasn't a bond correction form on that one? Can we do a bond correction form on that one?
Because it should be no bond.
It should be no bond as to
Yeah.
count one. All right, thank you.
All right, Ms. Cherubin? Okay. You're here in 2019 CF 4491. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery on count 1 and count 2 battery. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. I believe this is a PBL.
Yes, Your Honor. The statement requested should be held at no bond. Looking at the four corners of the affidavit by Detective Wilson, it looks like the defendant was having a fight with the victim via text message over the phone. The defendant then came to the victim's residence, started punching the victim. She then left the residence, came back with 3 other friends, and dragged the victim into the bathroom where they continued to attack her. Based on that, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond based on proof, evidence, presumption. Great.
Mr. Augusto?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask that the court use its discretion to set a monetary bond in this case. Mr. Rubin is only 18 years old. It's a very serious crime, obviously, but we ask that the court consider her young age. She's employed. She's employed at Foot Locker. She's been there for a few weeks now, and she just started there. I understand she's only 18, but she has no prior criminal history, no prior failure to appears. So we would ask that the court use its discretion to set a monetary bond.
My only concern here is that in the affidavit, there's a suggestion that she lives from Canada
Yes, Your Honor.
and that her parents may be sending her home because of the trouble she's been in.
Okay.
I don't know if, I mean, that's in the affidavit, so I don't, that concerns me a little bit. And so, in my review of the affidavit, I do find proof, evident, presumption great. I am gonna hold her at no bond on count 1. Count 2 will be $1,000 bond. She's not to return back to the residence as identified in the affidavit. She's not to have any contact with any victim or witness or co-defendant in the case. She's not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. And that doesn't preclude you from filing a motion
Yes, Your Honor.
to set bond, where I think the judge might, if there's a passport or some, I don't know if she's from Canada, but there's an allegation of such. Please tell me your name, sir.
Cesar Kokis.
I'm trying to find his face sheet. Okay, Mr. Coquise, you're here in 2019 CF 4668. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for lewd and lascivious exhibition in the presence of a child, lewd by a person over the age of 17, lewd or lascivious molestation, and lewd or lascivious conduct. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. State, are these, I don't know if these are PBLs or life felonies.
Can't, I don't see the date of birth of the victim.
Yeah,
So-
let me see.
It's not even showing up in our system yet. Your Honor, state request 24 hours. I'm gonna have to reach out to the officer. Typically, we have a victim page. I don't have it. It's not uploaded in our system yet to know the age of the victim. So I can see if I can have it by this afternoon. I just can't guarantee depending on what time we get out of court.
It said sometime when she was in the 3rd grade, that's when it started, I believe, so I'm not, but yeah, there is no indication of the victims, so I will give you the 24 hours.
If I get it before then, I will let the court know. I won't know.
Okay.
I can get it.
Okay. We'll reset this then,
Why we reset it?
for probable cause.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, there is probable cause, but there's still lacking in terms of knowing whether it's a punishable by life felony.
I'm gonna email my assistant to see if I can get the officer's information to see if she can email her while we're in court. I just can't guarantee that'll get done.
I'm gonna say the most and doing it.
Yes. All right, please, oh,
Michael Davis, medical, Your Honor.
okay, we'll reset him. All right, please tell me your name.
Travis Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, you're here in 2019 CF 4686AO. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree, criminal mischief, and petty theft. I do find probable cause for the offense. In 2019 MM 2850AO. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases. In 2019 CF 4686, your bond will be $2,500 on count 1, $100 on count 2, $100 on count 3. In the MM case, your bond will stay at the $500. You're not to return back. To the Walmart at 11250 East Colonial Drive. You're to abide by any and all trespass warnings. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. That's in both cases. And then, well, it's the same location. And then you're out on bond in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases. 2019 CF 1848AO. I'm revoking your bond, setting it at none. 2018 CF 17103. I'm revoking your bond and setting it at none. 2018 CF 17012, I am revoking your bond and setting it at none. 2018 CF 16972AO, I'm revoking your bond and setting it at none. And 2018 CF 16541AO, I'm revoking your bond and setting it at none. please tell me your name, sir.
DeMarcus English.
I'm sorry?
DeMarcus English.
Mr. English? Is this Mr. English?
Yes.
Okay. 2019 CF 4690. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond will stay as set at $2,500 on count 1. I'll reduce it to $100 on count 2 and $100 on count 3. All right, please tell me your name.
Carlos Fogel.
All right, Mr. Fogel, you're here in 2019 CF 4693AO. You were arrested for possession of MDMA, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any co-defendant in the case. You're not to possess any illegal substances or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay as set at $1,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $100 on count 3.
Okay.
Sure. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Austin Glett.
All right, Mr. Glatt, you are here, or Glatt? Glatt. You're here in 2019 CF 4701AO. You were arrested for petty theft, second degree, and possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to 741 South Orlando Avenue, that Publix. You're not to have any contact with any witnesses or victims in the case. You're also out on bond in 2019 CF 2382 and 2019 MM 2195 AO, which are similar offenses. I am going to revoke those bonds and send them at none. Sorry, and I'll stay the bonds in the new law violation. Count 1, I'll just be 250, 1,000 on count 2, and I'll reduce count 1 to $100 and count 4 to 100.
You mean 3? Count 3?
Count 3, sorry. So it'll be 250, 1,000, 100, 100. Thank you. All right, please tell me your name.
Steve Jones.
Do we know what happened to Jimenez Costa?
He bonded you on
Okay, we'll take no action. Mr. Jones, you're here in 2018 CF 825 or 10825 AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear on January 4th, 2019. The judge has set your bond at none in that case. We have the public defender? You do have the public defender, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Roderick George Jr.
All right, Mr. Jules, you're here in 2019 CF 4688AO. You're arrested for possession of a firearm by convicted felon, 2 counts, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20 counts of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, do you have any objection to me setting them as subsidiary bonds?
No issue, Your Honor. We'd ask for a $15,000 on the first one, and then and then subsidiaries.
So, no weapons or firearms or ammunition, sir. Your bond on count 1 will be $15,000, and the remaining bonds will be set at $150.
Your Honor, we have Fuentes here.
Okay, thank you. All right. You're here in 2019 CF 4724. You were arrested for trafficking and methamphetamine, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for those offenses. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendant in the case. Your bond will remain set at $50,000 on count 1, and counts 2, $100, and count 3, $100. And you were also arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found in 2019 CF 4341 for robbery with a firearm, carjacking with a firearm, and attempted kidnapping with intent to commit a felony. I am appointing the public defender if I didn't say that in both cases. State, are you asking me to make any findings as to?
Yes, Your Honor. So the robbery with a firearm, carjacking with a firearm, we'd ask the defendant be held at no bond. It looks like based on the 4 corners of the affidavit by Officer Medovitz. Let me just double check. No, I'm sorry. Ingoglia. Ingoglia.
Ingoglia.
Yes. We'd ask that the defendant be held at no bond. It seems that she met the victim, somebody that the victim met on listcrawler.com. The defendant was asking the victim for money. Then the victim said, then the defendant called a friend. That friend was also then asking the defendant for money. They went to a Citgo gas station. At that point, a male suspect approached, displayed a handgun, and said he wasn't playing, he could lay the victim out. They drove to a Chase bank in order to withdraw money. The transaction was declined multiple times. They then went back to the sit-go, where I guess during the ride, the victim was able to call the bank in order to get them funds available. They were then able to withdraw $260. And the victim was hoping that he would get his car back based on giving them the money. He did not at the time. The car was also taken. Based on this defendant, along with the co-defendant's behavior, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption grade for robbery with a firearm and carjacking with a firearm.
Okay, in count 3, it's an F1, but is that a PBL? I don't.
Let me have one moment. I didn't think it was, but give me one second, Your Honor.
Mr. Augusto, do you have any argument?
Yes, Your Honor. As to those counts that are PBLs, we would ask that the court use its discretion to set a monetary bond. In this case, my client is only 18, very young, and the offense is very serious, punishable by life, obviously. And she has, I understand she's young, but she has no prior criminal histories, and she's just started employment recently, a few months back. And she lives in Florida right now. So we would ask that the court use its discretion to set a monetary bond.
I'm just trying to see if count 3.
So I'm looking at it now. I believe because of the gun, I believe it would be.
But it's just an F1. I'm trying to 1A, 2. Punishable life. Because it says armed kidnapping.
I'm gonna say because of the gun, I'm gonna say it is a PBL, Your Honor.
Yeah, it is a PBL, so they're all PBL.
We would ask for no bond as well on count 3. No contact with any victims or witnesses or co-defendants, Your Honor. No weapons.
Okay, I have reviewed the affidavit. Much of this is on video. And so I do find proof evident presumption great. And I am gonna hold her no bond on all 3 counts. She's not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. She's not to have any contact with any victims, witnesses, or co-defendants in the case. She's not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I believe I did set the bonds in the first case.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
Anthony Messi.
All right, Mr. Mincy, you're here in 2019 CF 4677. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for grand theft 3rd degree, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Are you planning on hiring your own attorney, or did you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I already have a paid attorney.
Okay, in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who it is?
Miss Leslie Sweet.
Okay, Miss Sweet?
Yes, ma'am.
Your family's talked to her, or you've talked to her?
Yes, I spoke with her yesterday.
Okay. Do we know if Miss Sweet's filed a notice of appearance? Let me see. Okay, she's not here. Was she? Do you know if she was planning on being here?
I don't think she plans on being here today, so
Okay.
I guess we'll just.
Okay, she hasn't filed a notice of appearance, so what I'm gonna do is just to make sure that in case you cannot bond out for whatever reason, I'll set you for determination of counsel, okay, in a week. And, just to make sure you're not sitting in there without an attorney, okay? If she
I was
does not,
already here.
I know, but she hasn't filed her notice of appearance, and if for some reason that falls through, okay, and she's not representing you, I don't want you sitting in jail without an attorney, okay? So we'll just set that as a precaution, okay? But I am gonna stay the bonds, as listed in the warrant at $2,000 on count 1 and $500 on counts 2 and 3. You're not to return back to that Advanced Auto Parts at 151 North Clark Road in Ocoee, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. Okay, so we'll just set that as a precaution, because in case you can't bond out for whatever reason, that, you know, I don't want you to be sitting in there with no attorney. Okay, Mr. Mincy?
All right, thank you.
All right. All right, tell me your name, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Cynthia Mitsoulis.
Good morning. You're here in 2019 CF 4692AO. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. Are there 2 count? Yeah, okay. So there's 2 counts of the controlled substance. Yeah, correct? Okay, and then 3 counts of the paraphernalia and 1 count of the marijuana. I do find probable cause for the offenses. In 2019 CT 2668, you were arrested for driving while license suspended as a second offense. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender on both of those cases for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you're not to drive without a valid license.
Okay.
Your bond will stay on one of the counts of the controlled substance at $1,000. I'll reduce the other one to $150. The drug possessions, the drug paraphernalias, I'll set at $100 a piece, and count 3 will be $100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And in the no valid or the driving while license suspended case, I'll stay that at the $500. You are out on bond, ma'am. I'm not gonna take action today. Just know that if you come back before me, again, if you're driving or if you're in possession of illegal substances or you violate any law and I find probable cause, I will revoke the bond and you'll be sitting there on no bond on a
Okay.
driving while license suspended case
Okay.
and the other 2 cases.
I really appreciate
Okay,
it.
so just know that.
Okay, I do.
Don't
I appreciate
drive.
that. Thank you so much. All right, God bless. Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Ahmadi Muhammad.
All right, Mr. Muhammad, you're here in 2019 CF 4680AO. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling, possession of burglary tools, and grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to, the address is listed in the affidavit on that Lake Baldwin Lane, that apartment. You're not to go back there, not go back to any of those apartments. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. Your bond will stay at the $5,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $150 on count 3.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Giancarlo Paez.
Okay. You are here in 2019 CF 3063 AO. It looks like the bondsman is coming off of your bonds. So I'm just gonna reinstate the bonds as previously set. Is that, if corrections can tell me, it's 150, 2,500, no? Yeah, I'm keeping them, yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm keeping them as set.
Okay.
And I believe they should be correct. 150, 2,500, 100, and 150. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an attorney?
Yeah. I thought I did. I'll
Do
have
you-
to definitely call him. I think I just have him for the VOP. I don't have him for the new charges that I caught.
Okay, let me see if you have an attorney. Okay, you don't have an attorney. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I don't have for the new charges I caught.
Well,
I don't have it.
for this case.
Oh, okay.
You don't
No,
have,
I'm gonna
there's
give him a
nobody
call.
that's filed a notice of appearance and you bonded out before your initial appearance the last time,
Mhm.
so.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you want me to see if you qualify?
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
do you work, sir?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Construction.
And how much do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
Weekly.
How much do you make on average per week?
Like 600 a week.
Okay, do you have any children?
Yeah.
Do they live with you?
Yes.
How old are they?
3 and 2.
Okay, he would qualify, right? Yeah, you qualify, so I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you, so you have an attorney.
Okay.
Okay? You're more than welcome to go hire whoever you wanna hire,
Okay.
but, just in case you can't bond out, okay, you have an attorney,
Okay.
okay?
All right. Thank you. All right, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Taxiel Parrilla.
Okay, you're here in 2017 CF 13215 AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft third degree. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not to return to, looks like, is there a listed address where this occurred? Like, I don't know if there's an address where this occurred, but, so you're not to have any contact, And the bonds will remain as set in the warrant at $1,500 on count 1 and $500 on count 2, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Bible Peterson.
Mr. Peterson, you're here in 2019 CF 33330. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for second-degree murder with a firearm. I believe this is a life felony.
Yes, Your Honor.
The state wants to be heard as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. State would request the defendant be held on no bonds, looking at the four corners of the affidavit of David Felon. Looks like this defendant, the victim and the defendant's mother of his children got in some kind of argument. She threatened to call her baby's father over this argument over money. There was a witness who heard over this, pulled the victim off the baby mother. Then she heard a phone call made to this defendant. While talking to somebody else outside, she witnessed this defendant, somebody she knows as Mike, also the father of the other person's child. After shots had rang out, run to the car, just saying he had to shoot him. He then exited the home, ran to a vehicle, and fled the scene with the mother of his children. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. This time we believe the defendant should be held at no bond. No contact with the victim's family, no contact with any witnesses, no weapons or firearms.
And I am appointing the public defender. Mr. Augusto, do you have?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask that the court uses discretion to set a monetary bond in this case. Mr. Peterson has lived here all his life. All his family is here as well, so he's not a flight risk. Also, he has no prior failure to appears, and he is, Yes, he has no prior failure to appear, so we would ask that the court uses discretion in this case and set a monetary bond.
All right, based on my review of the arrest warrant, I do find proof evident presumption great. I am gonna hold him at no bond. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. He's not to have any contact with any victims, witnesses in the case. He's not to possess or consume any illegal substances. He's not to return back to the location where the event occurred. He's not. Please tell me your name.
Rashawn Richardson.
All right, Mr. Richardson.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? You're here in 2019 CF 4710AO. You were arrested for possession of heroin, littering, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,500. Your bond on count 2 will be $100. Your bond on count 3 will be $100. You're out on bond on 2 similar cases in 2019 CF 4171AO and 2019 CF 3463AO. And so I am revoking those bonds and setting them at none. All right, please tell me your name.
Aaron Robbins.
All right, sir, you are here in 2019 CF 4679AO. You were arrested for burglary of a dwelling. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm gonna stay the bond on count one at the $5,000. You're not to have any contact with any co-defendant, witness, or victim in the case. You're not to return back to those apartment complexes on Lake Baldwin Lane. You're out on bond for similar offenses. In 2018 CF 14517AO, I am revoking those bonds and setting them at none. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Lisa Saunders.
All right, Ms. Saunders, you're here in 2019 CF 4726. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for aggravated assault with a firearm. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim in the case. You're not to return back to her home on that West South Street. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. And I am gonna set your bond at $10,000. Please tell me your name, sir.
Washington.
Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're here in 2019 CF 4676AO. You're arrested for burglary of a conveyance and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to, looks like those apartment complexes. Oasis Apartments. Not to go back there. You're not to have any contact with any witness or victim in the case. Your bond will stand at the $3,500 on count one and $100 on count two. All right, sir, please tell me your name. All right, Mr. Dossi, yeah, you're here on a violation of probation out of Indian River County. Looks like this is an on-view VOP. And you're Is this an on-view? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So there is probable cause for the on-view, and your bond will be set at none. Does he have something else holding him here? Okay, reporting requirements? Okay, you do have reporting requirements, sir, but does he have a pending case here? Okay, so Indian River County has 72 hours to come and pick you up, and that does not include the weekends, okay? All right? All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Jonathan Garcia Perello.
Okay, you're here. You were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. Is that for There's 2 counts, and there's no bond on each count, and Osceola County has 24 hours to come and get you, sir, okay? That does not include the weekend. All right, please tell me your name.
Alexis Johnston.
Miss Johnston, you're here, out of county, Lake County, out of county VOP. Looks like your bond is set at none in that case, and Lake County has 24 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekends for the 24 hours still, right? Right. Okay, so that does not include the weekend, okay?
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name, sir, or ma'am, sorry.
Khadijah Jones.
All right, Miss Jones, you were picked up on an out-of-county violation of probation out of Seminole County. There's 2 counts, and your bond is set at none on each count. And Seminole has 24 hours to pick you up, and that does not include the weekends, okay? All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Alan Martin.
All right, Mr. Martin, you're picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. And the judge in that case has set your bond at none, and Seminole has 24 hours to come and get you, okay? And that does not include the weekends.
So they have to come get me Monday?
If they don't come and get you within the time allotted, you'll come back before a judge, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And you do have reporting requirements, sir, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I apologize.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Dennis Hoover.
Do we know what happened with Miss Walker?
She's medically gone.
Okay. Do we reset her for the warrant? I can just, okay. Okay. So, Miss Walker was picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Hillsborough County. Her bond is $2,000. And so if not, Hillsborough has 72 hours to pick her up. Does Glorimar Felix Cologne?
Still mental health cover.
Okay, we'll call that at the end here. Mr. Hoover, you're here in 2019 MO 600AO. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for the offense. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you to resolve the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't have Mr. Hoover, oh, let's see.
How many days does he have? 3 days?
5 days, adjudication 5 days.
Okay, so it's 5 days with 3 days time served and court costs. Is that something you want to do and you're okay without an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Hoover. Thank you.
Come on.
You want to plea no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Hoover, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find, a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days time served. I'm gonna order that you pay your court costs by April 5th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think Felix Cologne's been reset a couple times.
Yes, since 4-3, Your Honor.
Okay.
Will waive, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'm appointing the public defender on all the cases. In 2019 CF 4568AO, there's an arrest for grand theft, third degree, retail theft, coordinating with others, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause for those offenses. She's not to return back to the Orlando Premium Outlets or have any contact with any victim or witness in the case or co-defendant. The bond will be $2,500 on count 1, $150 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. And you're waiving her appearance. In 2019 CF 1798AO, she was arrested for grand theft, third degree, retail theft, coordinating with others, resisting merchandise recovery, resisting a merchant, and trespass on property after warning. That was pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was found. The bond on count 1 will be $2,500, not the $500. Counts 2, 3, 4, and 5 will be $150. No return back to the scene of the offense, which I believe do we know where that one occurred? I had it yesterday. Just no return back to the location of the offense. No contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant. No and abide by any and all trespass warnings. In 2019 CF 3841AO, she was arrested for retail theft over 300. Retail theft, $300 or more, coordinating with others, and trespass after warning, or trespass, excuse me. And that was pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was found. The bonds will remain as set at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on counts 2 and 3. She's to abide by any and all trespass warnings, no return to the scene, and no contact with any witnesses, victims, or co-defendants. 2018 CF 10722BO. She was arrested pursuant to a warrant, or capias, for grand theft, third degree. She's not to return to the scene. No contact indirectly or directly with any victim, witness, or co-defendant. The bond will stay at the $1,000. In 2018 CF 4793AO, she was arrested for a failure to appear for case management on August 21st, 2018. The judge revoked her release and set her bond at none. All right. I'm going to start with the Conflict Counsel, ROR, excuse 2019 CF 3090AO, Richard Thomas Scarborough.
The state has not made a decision.
So that will be granted. Two 2019 CF 3049AO, Mark Leroy Phillips II.
The state has not made a charging decision.
That will be granted. Two 2019 CF 129AO, Amanda Lee Street.
Your Honor, state requested you roll this till this afternoon. The attorney said he was in the process of filing it. I just don't have an ID yet, so.
Okay. 2019 CF 2336AO, Joseph Perez Jr.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and a request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 4-4.
All right, that will be denied. 2019 CF 1875AO, Bryant Wilson.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 1501AO, Bryant Wilson.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3088AO, Devontae Roderick Curry.
That should be granted. The state filed a no information notice on 4-4.
That will be granted. 2019 MM1594AO, Terrence Lamar Harris.
That should be granted. The state filed a no information notice on 4-4.
All right, that will be granted. 2019 MM1595AO, Terrence Lamar Harris.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3132AO, Christopher Todd Williams.
That should be granted. The state filed a no information notice on 4-4.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3048AO, Erwin Leroy Tate.
The state has not made a decision. That should be granted.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3074AO, Kendra N. Vix.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4-4.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3137AO, Ambrosia Rochelle Hall.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4-4.
Will be granted. 2019 CF 3126AO, Grant Davis Belcher.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3196AO, Demetrius Council Spires.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4-4.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3205AO, Barnett Coleman.
That should be denied. The state filed a information on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3099AO, Dustin McNair Watson Tassie.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3209AO, Christian McClure.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4-4.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3085, Cornelius Smith.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and a request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 4-4.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3124AO, Joshua Brayon Dunstan.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4-4.
That will be denied. All right, and we'll be in recess until this afternoon. All right, we are on the record in session 2, April 5th, 2019. This is Judge Wish. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record, please?
Kathy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Alexis Augusto on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Good for you. You're fine, you're fine. You guys work so hard.
Can we address the 33-day motion case then?
Oh, I just denied
did?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna, I'll call the case if you want. I think it's Amanda Street. I don't
Yes.
know the case number.
It's 2019 CF 1290.
And I'm
Yeah.
denying that on the basis that the state filed the information. However, I think it would have been denied either way, based on the fact that her bond had been revoked. Please tell me your name, sir.
Jared Champion.
All right, Mr. Champion, you're here in 2019 MM 163E. You were arrested for criminal mischief by removing a trespass notice from posted land and criminal mischief over 200, under 1,000, and resisting an officer and trespassing on school grounds. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer from the state?
There is not, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not to return back there, Mr. Champion. You're to abide by all those trespass warnings there. Your bond on count 1 will be $500. Count 2 will be $100. Count 3, $100, and count 4, $100.
Okay, excuse me, Miss, Your Honor. Can I get this, dissolved today?
I'm not gonna make an offer today, sir. All right, please tell me your name.
Noah Bosser Kalachi.
All right, Mr. Kalachi, you are here In 2019 CF 4717AO, you're arrested for possession of a controlled substance. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. I'm going to place you in pretrial release, so you won't have to post a bond. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. If you test positive, you're going to be subject to urinalysis. If you test positive for cannabis within 30 days, I'd ask them not to violate you. That doesn't mean that you can smoke it, because it should be out of your system within 30 days. So no possessing or consuming any illegal substances. But you're going to be in pretrial release, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
My name is Kia Grant, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Grant, you're here in 2019 CF 4722AO. You're arrested for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery therein, and criminal mischief, over 200, under 1,000, and battery. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender. State, would you like to be heard as to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, I have one moment. Your Honor, it looks like this case was a fight between two women where the aunt stepped in between them. The phone was broken. The defendant pushed her way into the victim's apartment and they began to fight again. Based on the damage to the glasses, coming into the residence without permission, and the striking of the victim, we'd ask the defendant to be held at no bond as to count 1, as to count 2 and 3, subsidiary bonds, no contact with the victim or any witnesses, no return to the victim's residence, no weapons, no firearms, and no alcohol.
Mr. Augusto.
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask that the court uses discretion to set a monetary bond in this case. Ms. Grant has lived here several years. She's been employed with Metro PCS for several months as well. She's not a flight risk. She has several family members here. She has a 4-year-old daughter at home, and has informed me that she does have a baby on the way as well. She has 0 felony convictions and 0 failure to appears. So we asked, in light of her light criminal history and her family ties to the community, that the court use discretion to set a monetary bond in this case.
Okay. I do find proof evident, presumption great, but I am going to use my discretion and give her a bond.
Thank you, Your
okay? But before I do that, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition, okay?
Yes,
You're not
ma'am.
to return back to the location in the scene of the offense where this is alleged to have occurred, that Silver Star Road apartment, okay? You're not to
Yes,
go
ma'am.
back there. You're not to have any contact with any victims, witnesses in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I am gonna set your bond in the amount of $25,000. Counts 2 and 3 will be $100. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Elgin Grigley.
All right, Mr. Grigley, you are here in 2018 CF 321AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a status hearing on February 25th, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond on each count at none. In 2019 MM 2869AO, you were arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm going to stay the bond at the $500. Do you have the no? Do you, sir, did you fill out a form for the public defender?
Ma'am, they said I already had it. When I was going to fill that out, she said I already had a public defender.
Right, but not for the new case. So, does he have them on the other case? Okay, so I'm gonna appoint the public defender on the new case too. And then you do have the public defender on the other case.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, Mr. Grigley would like to address the court as to the failure to appear.
Mr. Grigley, I know you want a bond, but unfortunately, I can't change the capias. I'm not permitted to. But your attorneys can file a motion in front of that judge to see if they can get you a bond, okay? But I can't, I'm not permitted by the law to do that. All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, please tell me your name.
William Hayes.
All right, Mr. Hayes, you are here in 2019 CF 4716AO. You were arrested for driving under the influence and with damage to property or person of another, and driving while license suspended as a third or subsequent offender. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription or any alcohol. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. And your bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $150.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Shaquilla Morgan.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 4721AO. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in that case, and in 2019 CT 2671 as well, where you were arrested for no valid driver's license. I do find probable cause for that offense. I'm going to place you in pretrial release on both cases, okay? You're subject to random urinalysis within 24 hours of your release. If you test positive for cannabis within 30 days, I'm going to ask that they not violate you. However, that does not mean that you can smoke it, okay, or consume it in any way, shape, or form,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? And if any drugs, if you test positive for anything else, they'll violate you, okay? And you're not to drive without a valid license, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have the CT case number again, Your Honor?
Sure. 2019 CT 2671.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Raymond Rance.
All right, Mr. Rance, you're here because you were picked up in 2019 CF 4483 pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for failing to register as required as a sex offender. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You do have reporting requirements, okay? You need to comply with those.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to set your bond in the amount of $5,000. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Clyde Joseph Spence.
Mr. Spence, you were here in 2019 CF 4218AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias. The state filed an information charging you with petty theft, 2 prior convictions. The bond in that case is set at $500. You're not to go back to the Beals at 2302 East Cimarron Boulevard in Apopka, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we appointed on that, Your Honor?
Sorry, yes.
Okay,
You're
thank you.
appointed. Thank you.
That charge I was already released on, ma'am. I was just released on the 9th.
In this case,
There was 5 of them. Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't.
There was 5 charges that I was released on the 9th.
Okay, maybe a different set
Yeah.
of, this is alleged to have occurred.
Not when the warrant was issued, but when it occurred. I was in jail.
Do we know if he has other cases pending? It looks like this information alleges that on the first day of March 2018, there was a theft at Beals.
2018. Or 2019.
2018.
Yeah, I already did my time for those charges. Oh, I already did my time for them charges.
I don't know if, does the state have any information other than, it looks like this was, these are the kinds of cases that get filed at large, and then the law enforcement submits it to the state attorney's office, they review it, and they decide whether or not they're gonna file on it. And so that's what they did in this case. I don't know anything other than that.
We kind of did a global plea to get rid of everything on my last charge.
Right, but this may not have been filed on.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any way we can work on some kind of like pre-charge?
It's a $500 bond, and I'm not authorized to change that because it's a capias. So unless the state can give me some information as to whether or not this was actually resolved at some other point and filed on, I don't know, sir.
And then see, it looks like it was.
You do have an
not-
attorney. You do have an attorney. They can look into that.
Looks like this is Mr. Spence, correct?
Yes.
This is a non-arrest case, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
He's saying that it was all global resolution back.
So he has this case pending. We have a number of other cases that he probably doesn't know about. We have four petty thefts that he resolved. He has 5 petty thefts that he resolved in January of this year.
Okay.
This was not one of them.
Okay, so that's what they're saying, is that it's not one of the dates. It's not one of those same thefts.
It was
Okay.
in 2018.
March 1st, 2018. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Thomas, you're here in 2018 MM 6495AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on April 2nd, 2019. The judge set your bond at 0. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Ms. Thomas to resolve the case?
It's a violation of probation. The offer was adjudication, 30 days, all outstanding money to collections court, revoke and terminate probation.
It was a VOP? Huh. Okay.
Yes. Looks like she pled to the original charge on August 23rd, 2018. She received 6 months of probation, 90 days to complete an anger management, 25 community service hours, and it was a withhold of adjudication.
How many days credit does she have?
It wasn't a suspended sentence or anything, no, I'm looking at the plea.
My notes say it was just a plea to probation.
credit does she have?
Christian
Right.
Ortiz.
Okay. Yeah, she got a notice to appear, and then. She. She was arrested on March 1st too? Oh, okay. 2/28, but that was for the VOP. Original,
Original, she has 5.
original, she has 5.
She was arrested on July 20th.
Yeah, July
she bonded on
21st.
July 25th.
She bonded on the 25th, or 4th.
4th,
Yeah, yeah, she gets credit for that time too.
Oh, okay. How much credit is that?
So that's
5, 6, 7.
I believe so, yeah.
7.
I think so.
I'll clarify just in case.
Seven. So she has 7 total days in
Okay.
altogether, from the first arrest to the VOP arrest to today's arrest.
Okay.
Okay?
And this is to resolve all her pending charges?
Just,
I
no,
mean,
just this one.
Just
just
this
the
one thing.
2018 MM 6495. The state's offer was 30 days.
So it's just
But-
for this one thing. I mean,
And then all of her outstanding I don't know what her outstanding costs are, but that'll all go to collections.
yes.
All right, Ms. Thomas, I'm sorry, I know it's not a lot of time to think about it, but I need to know what you want to do. If you don't want to take the offer, you don't have to.
This is the offer in the file, so it's not going to change, and so she's not going to get out. I'm sure it'll be set for a arraignment
Yeah.
date quickly. So,
So if I do the 30 days, I get out after 30 days.
Your probation would be revoked and terminated, and then you would do your 30 days. You'd get the credit for the 7 days that you've already served. And then all your costs would just go to collections, anything that's outstanding.
Would she be held here for anything else?
I have no idea. I don't.
Okay.
I don't see any open cases from our system.
Okay, so yeah, you can. Yeah, after less than 30 days, 30 minutes. All right, we'll take that off.
Okay, you need to do it on a VOP plea form.
Okay.
Okay? violation, there's no new law violations, it's just a violation of condition 1, that she absconded, not advising about changing her residence, violation of condition 7, which is that she didn't comply with instructions when she failed to keep her appointments on December 4th and December 6th and December 14th of 2018. She failed to pay her monthly $50 cost of supervision and failed to complete her anger management class within 90 days, so.
Went to an admission.
Okay, so you're gonna admit to all the violations. All right, Ms. Thomas, I'm showing you this violation of probation plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Augusto about the offer and what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to admit to the violations of condition 1, 7, 8, and special condition. I am going to adjudicate you guilty if you haven't previously been adjudicated. I'm going to sentence you to 30 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 7 days time served. I'm revoking and terminating your probation, and all your costs of supervision or anything that's outstanding in arrears is going to go to the clerk's collections program, okay?
So question. So I'm due 30 days. Then after 30 days I'm out.
I don't know what day you'll get out. I don't know if you'll get any gain time. I don't know anything like that. I can't tell you. All I know is that this is the sentence that I'm imposing. Classifications would generate whatever. If you do get gain time, I don't know. Usually you have to serve the 30 days to get the gain time, but I don't know. I can't promise you anything, okay? But you wouldn't serve more than 30 days. It would definitely be less than 30 because you've already served the 7, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, you're getting credit for the 7 that you've served, all right? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am, okay? Good luck to you.
Yep.
All right, please tell me your name.
Christian Torres.
All right, Mr. Torres. You're here in 2019 CT 26760. You were arrested for driving under the influence. I do find probable cause for the offense. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm gonna place you in pretrial release. You're not gonna have to bond out. You're just gonna have to report to them once a week, face to face, no alcohol, no drugs. If you test positive, they can violate you. Do you think you test positive for any kind of cannabis? Because if so, I won't have them violate you for 30 days, but there's no allegations of any cannabis being involved. But you tell me now because I don't want it to be an issue later.
I could be clean in like 2 weeks.
Okay,
It's been
so
a
I
while.
won't have them violate you for 30 days for any cannabis, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, please tell me your name.
Kevin Torres Rivera.
All right, Mr. Torres Rivera, you're here in 2019 CT 26780. You were arrested for driving while license suspended for financial responsibility. I do find probable cause. This is a state. You don't qualify for pretrial release. Locally? In 2019 MM2871AO, you were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for that offense. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both of those cases. Don't drive without a valid license. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna ROR you, okay? I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance without a bond. But you need to make sure that you keep in touch with your attorney, that if you move, that you need to keep the clerks updated as to your address and make sure that they have a good phone number to reach you, because if you don't show up to court, your bond, it'll likely get revoked, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, may I have the case number in the CT case?
Sure, 2019 CT 2678.
State would object to the ROR in the CT case, no objection in the MM case.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
David Murphy.
All right, Mr. Murphy, you are here in 2019 MM2874AO. You were arrested for criminal mischief, over 200, under 1,000. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint, the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. You're not to return back to that location on the East Jackson Street, okay? Was he served with the injunction?
No.
Okay, it says there's a detainer for the injunction. Okay, to be served? Okay, all right. When you are served with the injunction, sir, you need to abide by the injunction. Because if you come back, it's not gonna be good,
Been through
okay?
this for years with her. Yep.
And so I will stay the bond at the $500. Don't go back there. Don't talk to the victim. Stay out of trouble. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I hate this thing. It's like- Please tell me your name, sir.
Christopher Richards.
All right, Mr. Richards, you're here in 2019 MM2870AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams.
The state has no objection to ROR, Your Honor.
Okay, and I do find probable cause. Did you, were you planning on hiring your own attorney, or did you fill out a form for the public defender?
No, ma'am.
You're not? Which question are you answering?
No, I don't have an attorney, ma'am.
Okay, do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Do I need one?
You may. It's possible. I mean, it's always good to be represented. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you work, sir?
No,
Okay, do you have any income?
not at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you, okay? So Mr. Augusto works for the Office of the Public Defender. Based on the state's no objection, and I think that you qualify, I'm gonna ROR you on both counts. Keep in touch with your attorney's office. Make sure they know how to reach you. A good phone number, good address, okay? So no drugs, no possessing drugs, no consuming drugs, okay? All right. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Terry Lee Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here in 2019 MO 6140. You were arrested for state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause for the offense. Do you wanna, you didn't fill out a form for the public defender. You wanna see if the state has an offer for you to resolve the case today?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Adjudication 3 days.
I can't accept that.
And then he has how many in?
I am a United
2?
States
So you would get out
Secret
today?
Service agent. I'm immune to prosecution, and I do own the Link Station and the Lynx buses. How can I be trespassed on my own property?
Okay, Mr. Miller, if you wanted to plea today, you'd be getting out of jail today.
Well, that's fine with me.
Is that something you want to do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
We're gonna go through the plea, okay?
Okay.
All right, so just hang on. All right, Mr. Miller, I'm gonna assume that you want to plead no contest.
Okay. I do.
Okay, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea
Yes, it
form?
is. I
Did you
believe it.
understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, I do.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, I am not.
Okay, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days you've served. You're to abide by all and any trespass warnings. Don't go back to that link station, okay?
Okay.
All right, and your court costs are gonna have to be paid by April 5th, 2020, okay? Gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir.
All
Good
right.
luck to you, Mr. Miller.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, and we didn't get any information about the,
Nope, I haven't heard back yet.
okay, all right.
So I'll just set it from, I did email the weekend attorney.
Okay, yeah,
saying
just so that
FYI.
I know that I don't, can you give me the case number and then, I can let whoever is on IAs for the judges this weekend know what happened? And we'll be in recess until Monday.